Hi, everybody, and welcome to Manga Palette, the show where I, Pasticie Luna.
Among Us Chef Isaiah.
Wow,
I think I get to
cool.
hear my
I
co-host.
mean, yeah, no, sure, that's right.
I was
I
waiting
meant to
for
say
hearing my
and
co-host.
go, but hey, whatever, fuck it, who cares? Here's what's more important. You picked the thing today,
hmm
and it's a thing that I talked about in my I'm hype bit. So that's hey, look, they're crossing over. It works. The system works.
What's this one?
The system of trying to not put everything we would normally just bullshit about inside of the regular show.
Ah,
Because that's what we used to do all the time before.
yeah.
Just say things. But now it's improving. So, what is it?
I'm gonna try to pronounce it.
Okay, here we go.
Fechipuru.
No. There's no I at the end of that. Why did you think that?
Fechipuru.
Yeah, Fechipuru.
Okay.
So it's a portmanteau of fetish, which is fechi, and couple, kopuru. So that means fetish couple, or fedipal, I guess. You could say it like that. That is sort of the intended translation. There's also a subtitle, Bokura no Junsui na Koi, which is Our Innocent Love. And mind you, it's prefaced with fetish couple. So, like, yes and no, but I think it's nice. So, yeah, it's a manga. It started in August 25th of 2018, and that's really recent for us.
Yeah.
This is the second thing we're doing that's really recent, isn't it?
I guess we're doing more recent things.
Yeah,
Because we did
actually,
all the old stuff.
yeah. Well, no, not all the old stuff. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but hey, let's get to those things when we get to them. More importantly, what is Fechipuru?
So, like the title implies, it's like two people that have distinct fetishes. Like they got drunk at a bar or something, and they said they
Not.
like each other.
I like how you said. I guess like you're not sure whether that is explicitly what's said.
Yeah, that's
They're
what they
drunk
said.
at a bar, and then the other person goes like, "Hey, I like you. I like you too. Let's start dating."
Because we never,
Heads up,
because
I
we
have a
never see
weird
it
fetish. Yeah, you do.
in
You
the
see it in
beginning. They showed it at
flashback.
the bar.
Yeah, it shows him sitting at a bar and drinking,
Oh yeah,
and he's like, and then she like just shows up drunk at the bar. So she was already drunk before that. That's
uh,
a different thing. Yeah. So anyway, it's about Kotoka Hatsushima and Tatsu Yunoki, essentially. Hatsushima is obsessed with men's backs, and Yunoki is obsessed with hair. That's it. She has long black hair, and he is a very strong, wide back, and they're just so into it. It's kind of
mhm,
just about them like going out, and it's a young coma about them trying to like. It's funny because it takes like what 14 chapters for them to actually kiss.
mhm,
Yeah, because they're not actually legitimately into each other at first. There's just like, it's more like, oh man, that guy's got really nice hands. Hey, can we go out on the premises that I'm allowed to do weird stuff to your hands? And he's like, yeah, sure. Only if I'm allowed to do weird stuff to your ears. And it's like fair trade. And that's kind of it. They don't really start really liking each other till like way later into the manga.
yeah,
Yeah, it's also Yunoki comes from a family of people like this. He has
yeah.
a
That was
sister.
funny.
Yeah, he has a sister Anno who has a thing for legs, and his mother Eri who has a thing for hands. And then he has a friend, the mandatory childhood friend who's into voices or sounds in general, really. Because she even says like, "Hey, you know how like when you get a croquet and like you cut it with the knife and it makes that nice crunchy noise?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Doesn't that fucking make you go nuts?" And it's like, "Well, no, but I kind of understand where you're coming from." And that's just kind of where that is. All right. So I guess my question is, what do you have to say about Fechipuru?
Um, it's a nice story.
It's really sweet. I
It
like
doesn't
that.
go in depth or anything.
Nah, it's not like that's the thing though. I remember when we were talking about this in the hype thing. I kept calling them creepy, and you were like, "It's not creepy to have a fetish." And I go, "The fetish is not what makes them creepy. They're just weird. They're
Yeah,
just weird. Period." Do you remember when she like decides this is the best way for us to hug? She hugs him from behind and then throws her hair into his face,
yeah.
and he goes like, "This is stupid." No, actually, you know what? I'm really into this. And there's a part way later when he's talking about where like Yunoki is talking to his girlfriend about his friend Mizukubo, and it's like I have this written down because I thought the exchange was pretty fun on that. She says, "And if I bet if her hair was longer, you'd be dating her." And he responds with, "Who'd start dating someone for something like that?" Is what I wanted to say. Then I remembered who I am.
Yeah, he knows.
It's immediate back down. Like, yeah, all right, you got me. I know. I know where I'm at. There's nothing to do about that.
And she also did like a confession like really early.
Well,
Just
she
different.
says, yeah, yeah. I guess is it? It
I
doesn't
don't see
feel
that a
early.
lot.
It doesn't feel early considering they started dating immediately. If
Yeah, it's
anything,
also
it's kind
different.
of. If anything, I think it's kind of funny that they start dating before they have feelings for each other. It's more like, hey, I have a weird thing that you like. You have a weird thing I like. How about we just like back each other up on this? Because honestly, can you imagine finding dating a girl who's going to let you chew on her hair? And he goes, yeah, no, this is probably the only way it's gonna work. Yes, and a guy is not going to let me lick his back. So I think this is a fair trade.
Yeah, but I think it could work.
I mean, they started liking each other, so it's working now. It was just stable before, you know?
Is that really weird though to like just like somebody just because they're into the same thing you are
They're
at
not
first?
into the same thing.
I
I don't think
mean,
that the thing is, I'm not saying
same
that they
weird.
actually like each other. I think they're just like helping each other out, you know? It's
Hmm.
a thing that I've done before, which is like I'll be sleeping with someone and it's because it's like, "Oh, I think you're attractive. You think I'm attractive too." Yeah, but that's as far as it goes.
Mm. That's not the same thing as
No, it's not the same thing as like a genuine relationship where you're very interested in the other person, like on an emotional or any other kind of more involved level. It's more of like a person thing than it is just like, ooh, she got a real nice elbows or whatever the fuck, you know? Like it's it's a very different
it's like an
experience.
objective thing.
Yeah, that one is more like a purely physical, objectifying if you want to think of it that way. But I would say just a purely physical thing, because I would say it would be objectifying if like the other person is upset by it, but she doesn't even seem to like care because she just like sits behind him and licks his back and stuff.
Hmm.
And it's just like, yeah, right, fine. That's whatever. I mean, like, it does remind me of the way some people form relationships. Is it's like, well, I mean, honestly, we just kind of like work together, you know. But
Yeah,
I feel that there's a distinction there between that and the kind of like profundity of affection that you would find in like really long lasting relationships. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
more of a function over form kind of thing.
Like people
Like,
aren't gonna keep liking each other.
yeah, it's like this works.
It's like you
I
can't hang around them. Like only like this one part about you, but not
yeah.
everything else.
Well, I mean, you can until you find someone who satisfies more than that, none it.
Yeah,
And that's sort of what I mean by like, oh, I've done that. Where like I'll straight up say, hey, meet anybody interesting when I meet them, and they'll be like, what do you mean? I mean like anybody beyond the stuff that we got going on, because I know this isn't like a forever thing. It's gonna last till it lasts. So that's I think it's interesting though that they start there at like, hey, let's just help each other out, and then it really does turn into a solid relationship thing. Because sometimes you'll find stuff or like other sort of romance manga where the thing will be like, oh, I can do this for you and you can do this for me, and that way we'll both evolve into the kind of people that we want to be, and then that makes them fall in love with each other, right?
hmm,
But in this case, they're like already started dating, and we're like, for as far as I'm concerned, if no one else is going to put up with me, this is fine.
yeah.
And I think
Well,
that's. I do love how the sister shows up, and by then Hatsushima is already kind of like, ooh, I think I really do like him, because like Hatsushima's like, all right, I think I really do like him. I just have to do something about it. And Tatsu, I guess I have to now because his sister is exactly the same last name. Uh, Tatsu's like, oh, okay, that's a thing, I guess. Like he doesn't really fully understand what's going on there yet. And then so she comes back to their shared apartment just because it's more cost effective, which is a funny thing that they settled on. They're just like, hey, should we live together? I don't know. Don't you think this is a bit much? Yeah, but like, do you want to pay rent all the goddamn time? No, that's fair. That does work easier for both of us. It's a very convenient kind of relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then there's like Hatsushima shows up and then sees his sister just with her like face buried into his thighs and freaks the fuck out because that is weird. That is weird. Even before knowing it's a sister, it's still weird. You're dating somebody and there's just somebody like face first into their thighs. That's fucked up.
Mhm.
And she steps right back outside. And then after like a while of the brother and sister fucking around with each other, going like, "Hey, don't be stupid, do this." Blah, blah. They go outside and say, "Hey, no, it's cool. I'm just his sister." And she goes, "That does not make things better." Now I have more questions.
No, it's okay. I just have a leg fetish.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. You know
Which
how like
is
you
even
have,
not a good answer.
you know
but
how
yeah.
like you have your thing for backs. Well, I have a thing for legs, and I mean, like I just I needed to really let it sink in. And my brother was gonna let me do it. I was like, that's not great. That's not positive. I think my favorite part of that is that Hatsushima like goes to her boyfriend and goes, hey, so you just let this happen? And he goes like, okay, look, here's what's up. When she was in like when we still lived together and she was like in middle school, she used to let me like play with her hair, and she goes like, you didn't like actually. He goes like, yeah, no, actually I didn't respond to it the way I respond to your hair. Don't worry about that. It makes me feel bad though, because it makes me wonder if my love for hair is that intense. And she goes, I'm glad you didn't have a boner for your sister, you fucking weirdo. And he's like, yeah, I guess that's true. Because what's the alternative, right?
Yeah. There's no other person I'll let you do it.
Yeah. What's the alternative?
I mean, I guess when they have the fetish, they just go really hard. But I don't think
Yeah.
that really happened. Yeah, it's just weird.
I mean, I think they're just weirder than it is like the fetish part. Because I mean, like people have fetishes. That's a thing. That's not. But it doesn't like dominate their lives.
Yeah, those happen during the introduction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you shake somebody's hand, they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. Although that does remind me, I have a friend who worked in an office, like a dev office, the place where they do testing for video games and shit.
Mhm.
And there was this guy with a really, really severe foot fetish, and nobody knew who it was. But what they knew was that it was like there was like it was getting kind of like really hot, so people were wearing sandals.
Mhm.
And the foot fetish guy put in like an anonymous comment, an anonymous complaint, I guess.
Okay.
He put in an anonymous complaint that was like, "Hey, can we not have people wearing sandals? Because sometimes I'm like catching glimpses of things that are making it very hard for me to work here."
Jeez.
And then they were like, "No sandals, people.
Immediately. No.
Got it the fuck out. Everybody needs to be working, like at full capacity. I don't need a guy like mentally telling himself not to get a boner while he's like fucking testing for C-class bugs." And I was like, "Huh, that's neat. That's a thing, I guess. Like it does. I mean, it would be present, but to have it purely define the entirety of your life feels like, hey, maybe do something about it."
Yeah, I think. Well, most people could control it, but
I'm just saying that that's what sex addiction is, right? Where you're just like it becomes so much of a focus and like a drive that it like ruins the other parts of your life. It seems to me that for both of them, it just seems to be a like a regular relationship thing, and that's fine. But like the sister, I don't know what's up with her, or the friend Mizukubo, like she could get arrested for randomly recording people.
yeah.
That's super illegal.
But now she does it openly, so she improved.
I'm just saying, like it's very possible that she goes out places and records things, and that is super illegal. That's technically surveillance.
Yeah, but she didn't get caught.
Yeah, but that's the worry, isn't it? Like somebody notices you recording them eating, and then she explains, no, it's just because the sound of you eating is beautiful, and that's not great. That's not gonna pan out well. Oh yeah, one other thing about Yunoki I really like. He's really good at styling hair.
Yeah.
Like I guess that has something to do with his hair fetish of like trying to experiment with how long hair can look. By the way, Crown blade plus half up is styling as fuck. Like he did a bunch of them. It's like side fishtail, this, that. Crown blade half up, styling as fuck. I like that one.
Which one is that?
It's the one where like her. It's literally named after how it looks. It's like sort of like a half ponytail pulled into the back, but like everything pulls up into like a sort of a crown shape. It's sort of a bald ponytail. It looks nice. I really dug that. I was like, damn, that looks styling as fuck. I guess that's the thing you could only do with long hair, huh? Or long straight hair specifically. I don't know if you could do that with hair that's like really intense.
I wonder if anyone else like fetishes gives them like weird abilities or skills. Alright.
I mean, it
Just
depends on what it is, isn't it? If it's something that like requires a level of competency, maybe. For example,
like maybe
I
she
know
could,
a lot about fashion. It is not for the reason that I like clothes, or maybe it is, but not in the way you would think. So like,
oh,
that's a thing.
so now you have the superpower.
I know a lot about clothing, like to label tops and stuff, like with the difference between like a halter, a crop, like all that kind of stuff. Patterns, like the memorization of different types of patterns, like tartan and stuff. I know them all very well, for a very specific reason, but I know them all very well. I know way more about women's fashion than I know about men's fashion, and there's a reason for that.
Because you like women's fashion more.
I like women's clothes for a reason that I refuse to say on a thing that I know people can hear. Now that I am reminded that people hear this.
Yeah, 22 subscribers.
23.
Yeah. So I was wondering in the manga if anyone else had
Oh, in the I don't know. I don't know if anyone. His mom seems to be really good at making like models. Remember?
oh yeah.
Because Tatsu basically mentioned needing to get the model of her hand so that he can get a ring for her, for Hatsushima, I mean. And then he's like, yeah, I need mom to check it. She just knows whether it's accurate and inaccurate. Also, there's that thing he says about like his mom that like Hatsushima responds to that I thought was nuts. It was like, oh yeah, my mom always said you can tell the hands and the backs of men speak deeply. And Hatsushima goes, hands don't say shit. And he goes, I really don't think that's the part of this you should be taking issue with, but okay.
The back says everything.
The backs speak volumes. It's like a picture. It's over 1,000 words.
I don't see how, but okay.
I don't get it either, but whatever, man.
I
I'm
could
not
see
the
more
one
like
just
hands
like,
saying like, oh, he works a lot or something. At
oh
least.
yeah, rough hands. Yeah. Rough hands would be like, oh, he works manual labor. But that's in a more metaphorical sense, right? I don't understand what the back would do.
Because I guess you could say he doesn't work out. I mean, that's about it.
Do broad shoulders mean you don't work out? Do you do work out? I have broad shoulders. I work out, but I don't know if those are inherent, you know? Because what about people who are just big, period?
Yeah, there's some people like that.
Yeah,
I feel
some
like you have
people
to
are
like,
just like big.
you like want to tone it or something.
Oh yeah, but I just meant like size-wise.
Yeah.
Like being broad shoulders, does that inherently mean you work out? No, but like, I mean, maybe like the definition. Again, we're trying to solve this as people who don't have back fetishes, so this isn't necessarily easy.
Maybe like a long back means he's tall or something. But you get to see that
Long?
without looking at the
I don't
back.
even know if that's necessary. Yeah, I feel like just the height differential could tell you a lot. It's like, oh, that motherfucker's tall. I don't even think you need the back specifically to know that. You could just like tilt your head up and then go like, yeah, that's not. That wasn't easy to do.
A good accusation though.
Ah.
I don't know.
What the fuck is that thing?
Maybe she'll give
okay.
like good back massages or something.
Well, she licks him a lot. That's a thing.
That's
I don't
not
know
a
when
massage.
that started. I don't know. It depends. It could feel good. I'm not a weirdo. Oh, okay. I misspoke. I misspoke. Yeah, fuck you. I heard that. Huh?
Oh, I'm a weirdo too, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
really mean anything.
My point is, I was going to say, I'm not specifically into that, so I wouldn't know.
Okay.
But I imagine there are people for whom this is what it's about. It's the jam.
Well, you know, since they're subscribed to Manga Palette, they probably get it.
Yeah. You guys get it. I mean, like, I don't get this one specifically, but I know you guys get it. I mean, why the fuck would you still be here when the title of the episode is like fetish couple?
Yeah.
like, come on. Ah, man. Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to say? I said my piece. I think I'm pretty much done.
still want to see what happens. But it seems like it's almost finished, right?
No, it just seems to be a regular dating thing. I don't think anything's going to happen really. I think it's just going to stay a dating thing. Because
Oh,
like there's tons of manga that are just about people dating. You know, doesn't necessarily need to have like a fucking a
end goal.
conflict.
Oh,
No, conflict. 'Cause end goal. Yeah, I mean that also true. But I mean like to say that like it only matters when something's happening isn't necessarily true, right? We've watched a bunch of shit where nothing happens and we still liked it.
hmm.
So I figured this could just be about their unique situation as a couple that got together purely motivated by their fetishes.
But I don't really see room to introduce any new characters
I,
besides, like, I guess the dad.
I mean, I don't know if you need new characters. Oh man, I do wonder what the dad's about though, right?
Yeah.
I do like that the thing was like, oh yeah, my parents divorced when I was 5. Oh, I'm sorry. Nah, that's cool. I heard he likes short hair, so we'd probably hate each other. Like that's the entirety of his opinion. I don't really know him, so it's whatevs. But he likes short hair, so fuck him. It's-
Just immediate.
yeah, just fuck him. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I don't, and that's what I mean. Like, I don't know if it needs to like go anywhere. Cause like, look at Non Non Biori, right? It's just girls hanging out. Doesn't really need anything. You could put more people, but it's not gonna change anything.
Yeah.
Or fucking show bitch. It's just a thing. It's not
But
really
they
like,
could always, like, graduate high school.
yeah, but like even then, that doesn't really change the main thrust, does it? That they're a couple.
Yeah.
You could just say, oh, they graduated high school, then they get married. The end. Like it, you could have cut it at like the end of the year, and it wouldn't have made much of a difference.
This is kind of like Sovich in
Yeah,
terms of, like,
yeah,
weird
yeah, yeah.
people liking each
In
other.
terms of weird people hanging out, I
Yeah.
would actually argue that this one is a little bit goofier because in Showbiz, right, like the guy is not weird.
Nah, he's pretty normal.
He's like just there. He's very vanilla.
But I mean, like, everyone else.
But it's everyone around him is a very different story. Versus this, he is included. Tatsu, remember when they go to the haunted house and then like they have the girl show up with like the long hair as the ghost Sadako,
Oh,
and instead
yeah.
of like being scared, he goes like, "Holy shit, you're not wearing a wig. That's real ass hair." And she was like, "What?" And he was like, "Oh wow, you usually don't see many people like pull off hair this long. I gotta admit, I really like it." And like his girlfriend is upset.
Yeah.
Atsushima's like, to be honest, I am legitimately jealous that you were staring at another person's hair.
Don't do that.
Yeah. And then there's the later chapter where she's like, oh, I kind of want to make him feel better. What should I do? And then she like styles her hair like Sadako. And she goes like, you probably really like this. Actually, you know what? You'd probably like this more if I had a little bit of hair in my mouth. And then she stops and goes, is it weird that I've begun to understand his fetish? Which I mean, like, I guess. I don't think so.
I don't think it's weird. I
You've
just
been
think
around
his
them for
fetish
how
is kind
long?
of weird. Yeah.
I don't even think it's weird. Like, weird to me implies that it makes me uncomfortable. So to me, it's less so that it's weird and more just like intense. Yeah? Where I'm just like, wow, even on a random off chance, you'll stop. Right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like really strong.
Yeah, it's
Like a
intense.
problem.
It's minus the sexual excitement part of it, it is as intense as I am about guitars.
I would like to see how, like, they grew up. Like, with the common, like, fetish, like, hair.
What do you mean?
Like, in high school and stuff. Like, how would they concentrate?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh shit, my teacher
Well-
has long hair.
That is an interesting question. What if like there's a girl in your class with really long hair? How does that work out? What do you do with that? And for her, right? Like it's big backs. I feel like guys on sports teams have big backs.
Yeah, so she's probably, like, staring at the sports teams all
Yeah, like the rugby team is just it's nuts. Just staring out the window of the rugby team or something. That could be a
And
thing.
then, like, what would her friends be like? So, yeah. I guess there's
Do you
into her.
do you think their friends would have been like, "Oh shit, what's wrong?"
Well, I
with you?"
think they would have, like, normal, like, oh man, that guy's abs look so cool or whatever. I don't know.
Oh yeah. It's like, wow,
And then
you're
she'll be
such
like, look at his back, though.
Yeah, if he like he has such strong arms, I wonder like how he could cradle me or whatever. And then she goes with, oh, those rippling fucking lats. Look at that shit. I was like, okay. I mean, sure. That's the thing. All right. Anything else you want to say?
I'm looking forward to see the new chapters. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I feel like because this is another thing that's like a young coma and mostly bits, there's not too much to say besides how much we like the people in it.
Hmm.
Like, I really like that Yunoki's thing for like is a very straightforward and honest person, despite his hair thing. Like his hair thing doesn't totally control him, but boy, does it drive a lot of his actions. Like
Like
when he's
literally
out,
everything we see is here.
yeah. Well, I mean, he is work like two different times, and his work is very serious. That's nice. And he seems to be more like intent on carrying his relationship forward because he has to do that stupid plan thing, right? He plans it, and fucking Hatsushima, who writes for like a magazine, says, "Hey, what did you think about when you were writing this plan?" He was like, "I was thinking about how I would want to go out with the person I deeply care for." And she was like, "Oh," and it's like, "Yeah, so it's like a romantic getaway kind of thing." And I was like, "Oh, that's nice. That's like has nothing to do with it." And then like after they have the thing on Christmas Eve where like you couldn't, no, not Christmas Eve, on someone's birthday. No, it was their anniversary. There's a lot of moments I was like anniversary, birthday, Christmas, because there's like as we're reading it, there's only 26 chapters.
Hmm.
So like so many things are like fetish joke, fetish joke, fetish joke, fetish joke, event, fetish joke, fetish joke, fetish joke, fetish joke, event. Like it, some of them kind of blur together. I remember the jokes a lot more than the regular event part, like the actual details of the event part. So
Yeah,
like
because they're
that's
so insignificant.
yeah, they really come like far and few between. But yeah, so like they do, he does the thing for anniversary where he's like, "Ah, yeah, I can't, I fucked up. I'm sorry, I wasn't here or whatever." And she's like, "Oh, I'm really glad that you are still trying, because that honest part of you is the part that I'm in love with." And that's when he goes like, "Whoa, she said love," which is like, how long have you guys been together and also been living together? That now is the time that you say love. Like, all right, yeah, relationship of convenience, moving into convenience. I fully understand that, but like, how long's it been? 2 months, 3 months, was it? And then like all of a sudden now it's like, oh, she actually likes me.
Yeah, that's the weird way they started.
It's fun.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested, the mangaka has the pen name of Zuraki Rurihara. I mean, the title's already a thing that you can look for, but just to be sure, it's a very, very, very strange pen name, so I feel like it stands out. All right, well, I got nothing else to say.
Food time.
Good time, I guess. All
Like,
right, so sweet.
definitely sweet.
Uh,
But to start off weird.
little strange. Yeah, I was gonna say strange. So sweet and strange. Um, okay, I have a question. In terms of it being strange, is it because it's unusual, or is it because like it's genuinely like, I don't know how about this?
Um, it's a good. Well, it's more like it's unusual. I know.
Yeah,
I know about it. I definitely know
yeah,
about
yeah. Like I read this and I'm like, yeah, I'm in. It's a sweet romantic thing. I'm in. That's fine. So like I have no sort of misgivings except for the fact that it's like I don't know if I could recommend it to people easily because it's like a also has the whole angle of being like a fetish thing. Even if it's not like dirty, it's still like a thing.
it. What do you think about Skittles?
I don't know. Skittles don't feel unusual to me.
Ah, I thought they were
Skittles don't,
different from like every other candy.
are they?
They're
'Cause they're,
smaller.
they're sweet and they're like chewy, right? But like gum is like that. Chiclets are like that. Like it's not. I'm thinking about like something where like you look at that and at first you're like, I'm not sure what that is, but then you like take a bite and you're like, nah, I'm in.
I thought you were just saying how like you know what it is, but it's just strange.
Yeah, it's unusual. That's
Uh,
what I mean. Like you look at it and you're like, what is that? But then like you in the arena, it's like, you know what? No, it's not anything I'm not used to. I like it. I got an idea.
what?
Baklava.
Baklava? What's that?
Okay, so it's like a pastry thing, right? But it's actually just like dough and nuts and honey. And like when you first look at it, you're like, oh, is that like meat? It's like kind of brown, and it's like I don't really know what that is. But when like you bite it, oh, that's just kind of like a neat kind of cookie thing. I really dig it. It's really tasty too. Hold on, I will show you a picture. Again, when you look at it the first time, you're like, oh, what is that? I'm not sure. And then you take a bite and you're like, oh, you know what? No, this is fine. This is nothing I'm not used to. It's basically like a tiny little pastry. I compare it personally to milhojas, which is a thing from Peru using puff pastry. Like that's the first thing. I'm like, it looks familiar, but I don't really know. And again, you like look at it, and like at first glance, you're like, oh, I don't know what that is. That seems a bit strange. But you take a bite, and it's like, oh, this is fucking great,
Yeah, that's like lasagna,
right?
like mini lasagna.
Yeah, it does, but it's like not anything like that because it's like a soft dough instead of like the flat dough of like noodles and stuff, and it's held together by like honey.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it's like nuts, so it's like not really anything you're not used to. Sometimes pecans, sometimes peanuts, depends.
So those are
All of the
different ingredients. Yeah.
Yeah, all of the Mediterranean makes it. So like Greek, Turkey, all that area. So like different places will have different things they might add or take off. Like I think one of the Turkish ones uses pistachios. So but like I said, nothing you would nothing that would seem very strange. Because that's kind of I think a Fechipuru, right? Because like you start with that title, it's like fetish couple, what? And the first chapter is like, I'm really into hair. I'm really into backs. Let's make this work. Can I chew on your hair? Yes. Can I lick your back? Yes. And it's like, ha.
You didn't think I
But
was
then
really
like,
into this, but
but
then
then
you
you
get
really,
used to it.
yeah. But then like, it starts to just be kind of like more of a source for humor than it does to become any kind of weird sex thing.
Hmm.
Like when he goes, he's really good at doing hair. It's like it's just a skill I developed from my hair stuff. Now it's just the skill he has instead of it being like a weird sex thing. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it.
Baklava works. Damn, alright, cool, that was fast. Hey. Everybody shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
It's time for the news. You can go first.
So, I hope this wasn't gonna be your thing. I already talked about it, but Honey Pop 2.
No, I wanted to do that for a hype thing because I really, really want to get into it.
Isn't it news though?
I mean, it's not really news because they didn't say anything. They gave information about the differences between this game and the last game, but they didn't give a release date or anything. But you want to go into it? Fine, fuck it, let's go into it.
Okay.
Honey Pop 2 is Honey Pop 2 Double Date. This is such a cool idea. Fuck, that's so smart. I love it. Because you could have just done regular Honey Pop, but there's a whole new thing now because you're dating two girls at once, so you got to switch between them. When the one gets tired, you're like, all right, hey, you stay here, have a nice breather, and like run to the other side of the fucking water park and go like, hey Ashley, what's up? How's it going? It's great. Oh man.
It also seems like it's a lot harder because they have
I
the new
mean-
mechanics.
Okay, so yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about that. I was the most interested in that specifically. It's what they call the baggage system.
Hmm.
If you rewatch it as much as I do and do the pauses between the fucking stills so that you can read the things, it seems to be that like as you progress in the relationship, you'll find out things about them that'll be something that'll change the gameplay of the match 3 game. Well, match 4. Honey Pop is a match 4. So like, for example, the one that they show off is Lillian, right?
Wait.
That
It's
got-
match
yeah.
3.
Is it?
Yeah, it's match 3.
Okay. Is it 5 when you start getting the bonuses?
It's 4 when you start getting the bonuses.
Are you sure? I feel like
I
you don't
just
get a
replayed
really
it.
good one till. Okay, sure.
At least one. I don't know.
Okay. So yeah. Basically, everyone has things about them that change the way the match 3 game works. So Lillian is the one that they show off as an example, and one of her things is the darkness, which when you read the little thing, the description is what it says is it switches the activation of broken hearts and passion hearts. So that's why when he matches the broken hearts, it works like passion hearts, and she responds well. And then when he matches the passion hearts, she says, and I quote, "Can you just like not?" Which is very clearly a "go fuck yourself" response. So like, yeah, that's a thing. And I imagine everyone's individual things will be unlocked as you have them. Jesse's made me really sad. But then again, like when you listen back to the bit of them doing the voice acting thing, right? When they were doing the voice acting demo test, she says, "Do you feel that you can't forgive someone who makes a mistake? My daughter doesn't talk to me anymore." And I'm like, fuck, I'm so sorry I did that.
She
I
looks so
super
depressed.
did that. That's literally one of her things. That's what I was gonna say. One of her things is literally depression. That's one of her baggage.
Yeah.
Depression. Like,
Wasn't it also like smelly?
one of them, no, that is Sarah and or Suki if you prefer the weeb.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, no. She has emphysema, which is she clearly smoked a lot, and the other one is busted vag, which is like she's been around. And I was like, yeah, she did porn. That's like not surprising. I mean, fine, whatevs. Not really a thing that bugs me.
That's her.
Lillian's was the darkness, asthma, or teen angst.
It's the darkness.
The darkness I already mentioned. That's the one where you switch the passion hearts
I
and the
know,
girl.
but what is it like?
What does it mean?
Yeah,
Easy. She's like a fucking what's the word?
emo, gothic.
No. She dresses goth, but I think her personality is very Valley Girl. That's how she talks too. She has a
Yeah.
lot of likes, ums, and uhs. I thought Lola's was kind of funny because when I read it, I was like, I feel like two of those are things I already knew from Honey Pop 1. Because it's busy schedule, caffeine junkie, and Miss Independent. And like you meet her in a coffee shop going like, I gotta fucking go. So like yeah. And the whole thing's about like self improvement and being the best you could be and all that kind of shit.
It's not the
So
same
like
guy, right?
huh?
I don't think it could be the same guy, right?
It is supposed to be.
Then how can you date Jesse?
I imagine it's just cheering her up after she's fucking depressed. Remember, that's when they were talking about one, two at the beginning. They were like, "Oh, it's legitimately a sequel. It's set a few years after Honey Pop 1." So it's supposed to be the same kind of thing. I'm kind of interested in what Zoe's are, if only because why did you come to Hawaii or not Hawaii?
Hmm.
Because Zoe's are kind of crazy, fine, aquaphobic, afraid of water,
Yeah,
and
that
then
doesn't make sense.
tinnitus, which is like her ears are damaged from like lots of loud noises. And I was like, then all right, why did you come to an island that's loaded with water parks and shit? This doesn't seem like a good idea. If you're scared shitless of water, maybe she's one of those people who's only scared of the ocean, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a good idea to go to an island.
Hmm.
Sarah's the one with the smelly.
Yeah, that's weird.
She gets annoying as fuck, attention whore, and smelly, which is like all of those feel very believable. I kind of okay, that's fine.
She's still my
Uh,
least favorite.
really, like
Yeah.
yeah, she's annoying, but that's enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I dislike Brooke the most.
I thought you liked Brooke most.
No, Brooke seems like a terrible person.
How she doesn't like caring about. She only cares about money and stuff.
Well, she doesn't care about people. Period. Hold
Yeah.
on. So Lailani's thing is old-fashioned, low self-esteem, and sheepish. And then the old-fashioned icon kind of made me smile because it's a cassette tape. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, cassette tapes. First you have to remember CDs, kids, and then you can remember a cassette tape. Candy has freckles, and I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't remember that either. But that's
Yeah,
it.
I was like, oh shit, she has freckles? That's cute. And her name is Candace Crush, shortened to Candy, because Candy Crush. And then the things are intellectually challenged, which is a very polite way of putting that. Forgetful, which I feel goes with one. And the third one is hypersensitive, so really emotional. That's fine. I mean, I couldn't expect too much for a third one, right? Where else were you gonna go with that? Nora scares me because Nora sounds like a family member of mine. A family member I've talked about to you very often because I'm like, I had to go talk to her again because she always makes me talk to her whenever she's sad. She has
Uh,
abandonment issues. She's emotionally guarded and she's vindictive, which means you piss her off and she's not gonna stop until you're dead.
I think I might
Like,
like her the best.
really? I
Oh, at
guess
least
that
from the
makes sense
pictures.
because she's kind of like Audrey, based on that description.
Yeah, she's like actually tough.
I mean, yeah, I don't dig her like sense of fashion.
I like it.
I don't like the chola look. I feel like the other costumes
Well,
might
no,
make
I
her
like the
more
other
interesting.
ones. Yeah, I don't like her default one.
That's what I'm talking about, like the
Yeah.
one you see in the trailer. Maybe her other ones will make her look a lot more interesting. I do like that, like when when they did the voice acting test, she was like, "Look, man, I don't have time to have fun, right? I have a family," and I'm like, "Yeah, all right, that's cool, that's fine, that's what's up." And then Brooks is expensive taste, unsentimental, and it's just a picture of a cactus and gold digger, and I'm like, I don't think I could actually talk to her if I didn't like if I wasn't the kind of person who was like, I need to 100% this game. I don't think I'd even bother. Like,
Oh.
use a
I
gold
thought she
digger,
would be
that's
like-
fine. Whatevs. I don't really care. Expensive tastes, yeah, all right. That kind of goes hand in hand with being a gold digger. But also unsentimental. At least act If you want my money, at least pretend. Pretend just a teensy bit.
Okay, so who do you like the best so far?
Uh, I mean, probably between Abia and Polly, because Polly seems like a messy bitch, and I love that.
Oh yeah, Avio. I think I might like
Yeah,
Avio too.
Abia's just fucking gross, and I'm like, I'm in.
I'll see her
A-
costumes soon. Really cool.
Ashley reminds me of people I know. Like that description reminds me of people I know.
Is that a good
Her,
thing or a bad thing?
huh?
I can't tell if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a statement. I'll tell you what, those people I know are not people I ever dated, so you could take that for what that means. But yeah, Ashley's things are easily bored. Fine. Commitment issues. Okay. And allergies. It's just like, alright, that's the one you added on there? I
Those
guess
don't
there's a
seem
lot
like
of.
actual like relationship things.
They are bad. The first two are bad. The third one seems to do nothing with the other two. But I guess there's flowers on a tropical island, right? So allergies might be a thing.
Huh.
But the first two, yeah, that's a problem. She gets bored easy, which means you have to constantly entertain her. And commitment issues means do not expect anything long term. So that does not seem good for a relationship.
Oh
But
yeah, you know she was like
you like
a
hanging
fan.
out.
Oh. You know she's
What?
like a fan main
Yeah,
character.
yeah, she was made by the artist. The
Yeah.
artist made her up for fun, and then like the dev was like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do it." I like her tattoo. Her tattoo's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It's her name. That's it.
I
also
thought
love
she would
that
be
she.
like more, but I guess not.
Well, I mean, I guess the point of her is to just be like any old fucking like what's the word? Any old kind of like relaxed girl, like of our age group. That's a lot of girls I've met who are just like, I'm like in my mid 20s. I have literally nothing but fun to have, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's dope. I super understand that. Do you want to go see a fucking like Steel Panther show? It's like, hell yeah, let's go.
I thought he made all the characters to like have some like depth to them, like he did in the first one.
Well, I mean, you have to talk to her, right? This is just kind of a brief overview. I
Oh, yeah, I
imagine
guess he
there's
didn't actually
probably
play the game yet.
yeah. I imagine there's a lot more to Suki than like just being an attention whore. There's probably like a whole gimmick to it that has to do with like being an otaku and stuff. I kind of want to see what that's about. Like, is she the kind of girl who's like the princess of an otaku circle? Because that's a thing that I would believe. Do you know about that?
Uh, I think so.
I might have mentioned stuff like that before. I don't know.
Well, what is it? I guess I'm assuming it's like she's the like most popular one.
Well,
Or
it's more like she's the one girl in a group of guy otaku.
or that. Yeah.
So they just like all desperately want to fuck her, so they're real nice to her.
Ah,
Like
that's
that's just the thing. That's just the thing. I think it's stupid because like I mean, what's the point? It's like when fuck, what was it? We were talking about like Satellite Girl and Milk Cow, and Milk Cow was
Mm.
like, "You never went out with me. Fuck you." And she's like, "When did you tell me you liked me?" It's like, shut up, dude. Just
in the beginning.
just
Yeah.
do something about it.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about the group. I'm like, they never probably asked her out.
No, they're just like, oh, if I'm nice to her, she'll probably like fuck me, and it's like that's not how that works.
Or they don't realize they like her yet, which is
Huh?
a different thing. Or they probably didn't realize they like her.
Nah, that's usually what those things are.
Oh, they realize it. They just don't do
The-
anything.
oh, you mean like the girl?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about them, that they were doing it and like unsure about their
Yeah, I
feelings.
meant them. Yeah.
Ah, you mean the guys or the girl? That's what I'm asking.
The guys are like, oh, I'm
No,
not sure if I really like her yet.
Nah. That's not how I've understood it every time I've seen it happen.
Oh.
Oh, we've seen it happen with the kids sometimes too. Remember where there was like that time that one black girl was sitting around and there's a bunch of people hover handing her, and it was like really fucking depressing to see because it's literally that. It's like, ah, she's really hot and I want to be nice to her so she'll fuck me, and then like one person has the guts to ask her out and then they go out and everyone else is just like, meh. It's like, and I guess that in that case, we are the replacement for that guy who asks her out. So I'm just kind of interested to see what like her weird social circle and stuff is like. Less so than I'm particularly interested in dating her as a person, because you know that's Honey Pop. I'm almost always much more interested in what's going around them than like anything else. Candace seems like she'd be fun to talk to if only because I wonder what the fuck she'll even say. Because if her whole thing is she's like, you know, not always there. What do you have to add to the conversation, sweetie? Like, what if I say something like, "Oh, hey, have you seen this movie? Are you gonna give me a completely different movie?" Like, where's that gonna go? I want to know. Leilani just seems like the most general, adorable thing. But that's because I like Tsumiki, and that's kind of where that's from. Nora reminds me of like a family member, and I don't want to. That seems weird. She seems the most like Audrey too, so I guess that'd be fun to like find out her whole thing.
Hmm.
But like on the over under, the description and also the fact that she is Hispanic reminds me exactly of a family member, and I'm like, that's weird. Oh yeah, obvious things: sex addict, one pump chump, and self-effacing. Sex addict and one pump chump are interesting.
Avia. I can't remember right now.
Huh?
Oh yeah, the Arabic girl. I forgot.
Yeah, the girl who works at the airport. That's how I remember her.
Yeah.
I imagine she is seen Lola around sometimes.
One pump check.
Yeah, one and done, which is oh yeah, and the picture is like of a water pump.
Like, isn't that just another way of saying commitment issues?
Nah, that's not what that means. What that means is don't expect a lot from her sex wise.
Ah, okay.
It means you go once and then they're like, all right, I'm done, and it's like, well, that's kind of all right, fine. It's usually considered a more common issue amongst guys. Because it'd be like, not once, and then that's it, I'm going to sleep. In this context, it would be the same thing. It'd be like, oh, okay, foreplay. Oh, she's already done? Well, I guess I'm just sitting here then. That's probably what that's supposed to mean. The self-effacing is interesting, because the self-effacing thing is like, I value myself less so than I value you. And that's like similar to the low self-esteem. Because the low self-esteem is just like, oh, I don't think much of myself. But the self-effacing is in turn not just I don't think highly of myself. It's I think of high of you in exchange. And I wonder how that's going to play out in talking to her and also in the match 3 game. It's like Lillian's the darkness thing is a switch between the passion hearts and the fucking and the passion hearts and the broken hearts, right?
Mhm.
So like, what does that mean gameplay wise? I don't know. I'm interested. And then there's Polly with drama queen, jealousy, and brand loyalist. And like I see that and I'm like, this bitch seems messy. It feels like it'd be really fun to just sit around her. I love that. It's the reason why I like terrible reality shows.
Just to see
You know?
it like mess up.
Just to see how fucking nuts it gets.
Yeah.
So like the drama queen thing is very obviously just like everything is a big deal with her, right?
Hmm.
Brand loyalist. Well, she runs like a fashion YouTube channel, right? She's a fashion tuber.
Yeah, she does like
So, like,
workout videos.
So she does like she probably has a whole thing about like, oh no, I refuse to use this makeup from this brand and all that. That's fine. I get that. I understand people who are like, no, I refuse to use this or I refuse to use that. That's not a big deal to me. I know I've never really used the fucking I've never really used an Ibanez guitar. I don't like them. Almost every time I try to use one, they feel like crap. That's just the thing. Maybe it's because I like Gretsch too much. I don't know. It's a like I understand the idea of like, no, I refuse anything except for this brand, especially when it comes to like fashion, because that's even more specific, right? Because different companies have different deals with people who make fabrics and stuff. So it's like, oh, the people who get the textiles from here are from like a different place, and like, it's a whole thing. That's whatever. And then the jealousy bit seems like the most interesting.
Easily jealous. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Is it like I went to go talk to another girl and now you're gonna start a whole thing?
Wouldn't that be hard with a double date?
Where's this going? Yeah, that's why I'm interested.
And you
Because
also
the
get
whole-
to have
the
sex
whole-
with 2 people at once, so
The whole premise is double date, right?
yeah.
And like the implication of the pictures is some of them are gonna pair up. Some of them are gonna be like, this works. You, me, and the guy. Like that's so I'm really interested to see how jealousy plays out. Is it like, oh, she'll only hang out with one person? As like, all right, look, I can handle Brooke, but I swear to God, if I have to see that God, what's her name? No, if I have to see that really annoying gothy girl, I'm gonna punch her in the mouth. Like, I want to know where that goes. That seems like that'll be really like interesting. Then again, like I said, I like fucking trash fires, so like that's its own thing.
This is probably gonna be a trash fire. Especially with Jesse.
I mean, I kind of want it to be. That and also like, so remember when we talked about Honeycam and I was like, I'm not really interested in Zoe because Zoe just seems weird.
Hmm.
The fact that Zoe's thing is literally kind of crazy, I do wonder how that's gonna play out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Zoe would do. But I need more information. I need it to come out, or like a demo or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said like it's interesting that you want to do this uh for like a news thing because there's literally nothing besides the update of the way the game is changed. Less so than like, hey, there's finally a release date or like whatever. No, it's just like, hey guys, it's different. And I was like, that's cool. I would like to know when I could get it though.
Stay patient. Thanks. Oh yeah.
I fully understand why they don't do the thing though, because it like says, hey, we don't want to give you a date because if we give you the date and then it's not done, what do we do? You know?
Yeah. So I guess they're gonna tell
I
us like
do
a
love
week before it
the
comes out or
description.
something.
I hope it's like at least a month or two. Because if they tell you the week before, that'd be fucking hype as shit. It's like that's the kind of thing that some games have done when they're like, and it's out today, and it's like, oh shit. But like, you know, I do like the thing where it goes like, yeah, Honey Pop 2, a double date coming soon. Appreciate the patience, kings. And I'm like, all right, yeah.
Because it looks like all the mechanics are done. They're probably just doing some like whatever issues.
It's probably just like
Local
actually
lighting.
splitting time. And I feel like you should be able to get a harem ending in this.
I feel like there'll
if
be secret characters again too. And stuff.
I mean, there was in one, there should be in two. But
you
I
could
feel
definitely
like,
date Q. I can see it.
yeah,
already.
yeah. Well, she was doing the voice acting thing, and it was like, hey, who's my favorite girl? Me, duh, bitch. And I was like, all right, cool. Reading the comments was kind of fun because I saw it when it was premiering, and then like everybody's losing their shit in the chat,
Mhm.
and like I remember seeing people go like, oh, immediately nut and stuff like that.
That's-
But
they
I
always
think
do.
one of the ones that I saw that was my favorite was one of them was like, I can see Ashley being top tier. Also me. Leilani though.
Also me.
Yeah, me. I can see Ashley being top tier. Also me. Nah, Leilani though. And then like reads obvious description. God damn. Which is like, yeah. That sounds good. It does, doesn't it? But I mean, like, it sounds like an interesting time. I do wonder what they're gonna do in mechanic wise, though, right? Because like now you make smoothies to upgrade the point system. Because remember, in the first game, you just kind of got like honey for conversations, and you spent it to upgrade the point system for the match 3, right?
Yeah, but now
But-
you get them for.
But now you
same.
have to get fruit to make a smoothie, and I wonder how you get the fruit if you have to buy stuff, and if so, like how they. I love that, like when they did the
Will it be
description
a
for the thing.
RPG?
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because the description for the thing, right? When they're like, "Oh, brand new this, brand new that," they're like, "Freshly updated economy," and I'm like, "What does that mean?" It's like a whole new thing going on. Like, what are we doing?
Do you actually have to walk to go to places?
Oh, fuck!
Would it
Do
be
I
like
have to
honeycam?
worry about time? Do I have to worry about time?
Would
Yeah.
they combine honeycam and honeypot?
Oh God, a map would be nuts. Because in the first game, you just looked at your phone and was like, "This girl is here. Go there," and I'd be like, "Okay, cool."
It wasn't
But yeah.
a phone. It was the honeybee.
It's a phone. It's a phone. It's
It
a phone
locates,
called the honeybee.
when girls know each other.
Dude, it's a phone. It doesn't know when they know each other. It just knows where they're somewhere.
Yeah.
If it knew that they knew each other, then I think the main character would have backed off on fucking Jessie and her daughter.
So it locates when they're somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this girl that you talked to, this is where she is. You can go there right now. And it's like, yeah, all right. Oh man, I feel like maybe like all right. So they all have effects in the game, right? All the smoothies and also these like baggage things. I wonder if like any of them are just gonna be like negative things.
What do you mean? Like take away
Well, like-
points?
Well, not take away points, but maybe make the game harder, right? So like maybe like Ashley's thing, right? Where it's like commitment issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that means that you can't use orange for points at all because orange was romance.
Mm.
Maybe I don't know. I'm just wondering. 'Cause,
Like 0 points. I'll make it harder.
Yeah.
Since
So
it's
it's
too
like-
easy in the third one. That's the
Well,
first
it's like-
one.
It's like Ashley, right? Ashley does not like commitments. So guess what? Romance is fucking useless. That's just what that means. And like that only happens when you get more seriously involved with her. And then she goes like, "Man, like I mean, I like hanging out. That's cool. I don't know about like being a whole thing." And then it's like, "Well, guess what? Now you can't use orange for points. You've gotten to know her better and you've realized the idea of the long term is scary." And it's like, well, shit. Did I want to get to know her that well? Well, fuck. I do want to win.
Well, they could probably do that if you just switch off to the other person and use orange or whatever.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like, I kind of like that idea that all of these, because like the darkness, right? It switches like broken hearts and passion hearts.
Hmm.
Fine, but like, I wonder what like everything else is, because there's so many other ones. Like, kind of crazy, right? Like, what does that mean for the match three? Can you match random shit? Like, what does that mean?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Just match any three of a kind.
Yeah, but you only get that for like a few turns. I also imagine they can't work for forever. Mind you, they said like all the old gifts are also still in the game, so there's that and the other ones.
Hmm.
So there's got to be something to
There's
that.
a lot more content too.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see where it goes. Like really, truly. So yeah, that's kind of wanted to say it as a hype thing because I'm like I feel like we don't have a date, but we have details, so I guess that's something.
And we got the gameplay.
Yeah. Oh man, fuck, so excited. I could not have been more excited for this. Oh boy. All right, well, time to talk about my news thing, which is like more of a. Well, it is also kind of a I'm hype thing, but it's also because I wanted to talk about this company.
Okay.
So, you know Tiny Build, right? They're a publisher, but also a developer. They made that game, No Time to Explain.
Yeah.
They published Party Hard, Punch Club, Lovely Planet, which is apparently from India. His developer is from India, which I thought, oh, I didn't know that because like it literally has like shit in Japanese and stuff. So it's like, huh, okay, but yeah. So it's like Lovely Planet, Party Hard, Punch Club, Speedrunners. People really like that game. I really like Cluster Truck, Mr. Shifty. They publish a lot of really cool games, right?
Hmm.
They are now about to publish a different game, which is also really interesting. It's called Not for Broadcast. So the idea is it's like a 1984 the government controls the world kind of thing,
Hmm.
and you work as the guy who manages the television network, and your job is to like edit and cut out shit that's happening on TV so that like you can censor things to be beneficial to the government party at large. And it's like FMVs, so it's like real live action footage of people doing wild shit.
Yeah. That's interesting. Is your political view supposed to like? Could you like control the political view of people, or like you just lose the game if you try to do that? You like Papers,
Well,
Please, right?
sort of. It's like it's sort of like if somebody's saying something politically radical on the TV, you should
Mm.
probably edit them out.
But is that just like the
So
whole
that's what I mean.
game
It's
where you
like
get to like make more choices? Like, oh
yeah.
no, I'm gonna try to change the government, blah blah blah.
Well,
Right
no,
against
no,
it.
no. I think it's just like watching the videos and seeing the kind of weird shit. Because you can change
Oh.
the feeds and you can like there's a censor button. So I don't really know. What's really cool though is that like there's a fucking the early access is coming out at the end of the month.
Hmm.
So like people will be able to play it and get a night feel for how it is before it's done. So mind you, because it's early access, it's not going to be done, but it'll at least give you an idea of what the game is going to be like.
Hmm. Okay.
Also, there is a prologue that is free on Steam right now,
Uh,
so you can play that.
okay.
So when I said 1984, I really do mean 1984, not in like the book, not in just the book, but in the literal context of that seems to be the time period, like the 80s.
So check out. No, no, not for broadcast. Yeah.
Not for broadcast. Yeah. I gotta admit, I really like the company. They publish a lot of really cool shit. Like I said, Hello Neighbor, Party Hard, all that kind of shit. So, I'm interested to see how this game works. You have a lot of chances to a lot of companies, and I'm interested, to see how this does seem really cool. I really do like full FMV kind of stuff like that. Full motion video, so FMV shit like this. So yeah. Okay. Time to get hype.
Time to get hype. Yeah.
Get hype.
Uh,
Yeah.
you're
Alright,
probably
you-
guessing my thing is. It's
What is
Frosty
it?
Fausting. That was it's a fighting
Yeah.
game tournament in
Yeah.
Chicago. It's pretty cool. They had the Frost trailer come out. He looks super creepy. For a new Guilty Gear Strive. He looks like a scarecrow now. And he's like eating people. It's really weird. And also the tournaments are
Guilty
fun.
Gear what?
Guilty Gear Strive.
What?
Yeah, he looks really creepy now. Also, yeah, they had like a lot of different fighting games there, like Sailor Moon. No one plays that. No one like broadcasts that except for Frosty Faustings and
Oh,
Comic.
that's Yeah, I was gonna say comic record, but oh man, that's cool.
and there's just a lot of good, like there was a lot of good players. I feel like it's just like a really nice tournament. I might try to go next year.
Cool. Anything else?
Uh, that's it.
Okay, cool. You probably know what I'm gonna talk about. It's a thing I was mentioning when it was talking about the anime was coming out as a news thing, and it's out, bitch. Ishizoku reviewers. I keep saying 1 week. Fuck that up.
Oh yeah, where they go to the stripper place or whatever.
How dare you? Strippers are to watch.
Hookers. Sorry.
They see hookers, and I love it. I love it so much. It's so great. So great. Fucking amazing. Yeah, so they just go see hookers and they fuck and then they are like, "Hey, I have some notes to be made about this prostitute." And yeah, that's kind of it. The first two episodes were out. Watched them. First episode pretty nuts. Second episode, oh boy, it got more intense. One thing that really stopped me was this part where like they go to the fairy brothel because I want to fuck a fairy. Sure, whatever. And then they go there and the lady who runs the brothel goes like, "Hey, you need to measure your dick." It's like, what? It's like, look. Fairies are very small, yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, they can't handle everything, so. And I was like, okay, fine. It's just like, then whip it out. He's like, I can't do that in front of my friends. This is weird. I don't like this. I don't like this. And she was like, fine, I'll do it. And it just shows her like rubbing her body, like her lower body against something off screen. As you watch her face and his face go like, oh. And then he goes like, ah, there you go. You know, you're really good at this. Some guys just busted at this point. He goes like, I don't like that you're complimenting this, but okay.
Really? That's sad.
So then, yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I imagine it's a very different experience. Anywho, so yeah, then she gives him a card with the size of his dick, and he goes like, "What is this for?" He goes like, "Well, no, we need to like have that measurement so that we know who fits." And like, okay, and then yeah, and then she measures the other guys, and he goes like, "Okay, human, your dick is this long. Only these two fairies can handle it." And he's like, "Oh, they're not even hot. This is a bullshit. They're like really big. I don't like this." I was like, Elf, you get to pick from these 20 girls. And he was like, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, you want to go with this one or this one or this one?
Now we have idea what their dick size is.
Yeah. And then the halfling is like,
That's
halfling,
great.
you can. The halfling goes like, halfling, you can pick anybody. And he goes like, there's nobody I'm too big for. I was like, nope. And he's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then Andrew goes like, what about me? And she goes, nobody. He goes, nobody? He's like, nobody. And the guys just stare at him and go like, yo. For real, though? I was like, yeah, for real. And the worst, so then they do the review part. And then the human's like, I didn't even really get to fuck a fairy. This sucks. Like, 5 out of 10. Alpha's like, pretty dope. Pretty into it. Pretty nuts. Didn't get everybody, but hey, there was some choices there, and I got a real good one. So that's like 8 out of 10. Halfling was like, it was like having sex with a tiny halfling. It was amazing. 9 out of 10. And then the fucking angel goes like, didn't get to fuck anybody, and they still took my money. 1 out of 10. They told me I was too big for everyone. And then people like reading the review and go like, oh, this is a giant dick. So yeah, that's a bit from that show, and then go fucking watch that show, man.
Maybe
Watch
we'll
it.
just do a manga palette episode on it.
Yo, kid, I really want to, but
Like
it's gonna
we
be
did
like
Komodo Michi.
it's gonna be like 2 months. It's gonna be like 2 months or something. So yeah, I'm like, fuck. I'm gonna get really excited for when this shit finally finishes. I'm waiting for the next one because I'm like, I wonder what's gonna happen there. Also, fucking no, Oda Shineman Nobunaga has come out. Watched it. Everything I wanted it to be. Thank you. And the first 2 episodes of Show by Rock dropped, and fuck, I don't even know what to say about that. The second episode was 14 minutes of one joke, and I don't know how to feel about that. So yeah, yeah, man. All right, what do you? All right, that was. I mean, yeah. All right, I was gonna say that was what you were hyped about. That was what I'm hyped about. So fuck yeah, man. All right, here we go. That's it. Thank you for. I guess. Yeah, we're done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This has been Manga Palette. Thank you for listening. And if you're still here, you guys get it.
Yeah, you guys got it.
Hey, you guys made it. Bye.